Hi, I'm Nancy Ries, and I asked Gretchen for a few minutes to talk to you about the Rector's Discretionary Fund. And you know I'm not very comfortable on camera, and if for me to ask to do this, it's because it's really important. So every a month, you may have noticed that we've been putting in the bulletin and in the Sunday Scoop at the beginning of the month to ask you to be generous for the Rector's Discretionary Fund. And I thought maybe some of you don't even know what that is. So I want to talk to you this morning about that.
Right. Okay, and let me back up just a little bit. Yes, it is, the normal date is always the first Monday of the month, that we've only recently started advertising again. We used to in years gone by, and then it just kind of fell off the wayside. But Nancy is also our parish treasurer. So this all ties in with why she would be the one speaking to us about the Rector's Discretionary Fund. So
Yes. I first became aware of the Rector's Discretionary Fund, early in my marriage when Dan and I lived in Boston, and he was in graduate school, and I had 3 children under the age of 3. And so it was a stressful time for us.
Right.
And one day our rector approached us and said that he thought that maybe we needed a night out. And I don't know how he knew that, but we took him up on that, and he showed up on a Saturday night to babysit.
The rector.
The rector
Hey, new job description for rectors.
came and to babysit, and he handed us, I think it was $50, but that was in the 80s, and it went pretty
That was a lot
far.
of money, yeah.
From the discretionary fund, which I didn't even know what that was. And we went out to dinner and a movie and had a wonderful time.
Wow.
And he had identified a need that I didn't even know that we had, but I was ever so grateful. And ever since then, I've really tried to support the discretionary fund the best that I can.
And that's interesting because I had never heard that story, and it's really moving, and I can understand why it's near and dear to your heart now. Normally, for the Rector's Discretionary Fund, it is used towards parishioners that need help with utility bills or school supplies for children. I mean, for things that they just don't have the money for, some car repairs sometimes, for roof repairs sometimes, for HVAC repairs. Some expenses, groceries, gas, some expenses can just suddenly become overwhelming. And honestly, nobody likes to come to us and say, I need help. Nobody really likes that feeling because it's a place of unease for us to request and ask for help. We want to help. When there is a true need out there, we want to help, and we are ready to help. Now, that being said, at this point in time, our RDF, as we refer to it, Rector's Discretionary Fund, RDF, is pretty low. And we don't have needs that we have been unable to help due to that, but it is something that we keep in mind when we are asked about things. Can we afford to give them all the money they asked for right now? And sometimes our answer has to be no, that we can give you a portion of what you really need, but we don't have enough to give you everything. Should we always give everything? I don't know. I mean, sometimes some helps, but there truly is a need for the RDF, and it's normally for parishioners. Sometimes we do have people walk in off the street and say, I need grocery money, help. And sometimes we will say, okay, go spend $75 at Food Lion, and we'll meet you over there at the counter, and we'll pay for it on our church credit card. And then when we're doing our Visa reconciliation, we mark that as RDF for that. So
When I was an office angel one time, a woman came in and needed a bus ticket to go home,
Right.
and was desperate for for that help, and we were able to do that through the discretionary fund.
Yeah.
So sometimes we're aware of a need in the community that the discretionary fund can help. And this is the key, is that it is discretionary. This is different than outreach, which is mostly budgeted for, and we will publish it, and everybody knows that we're supporting a charity or whatever. This is between the rector and
Yes.
the person who is at the end of their rope.
Right.
And so it serves a need. This comes about because of the church canons, and I'm going to paraphrase a little bit, but the church canons direct us to allocate the alms and contributions not otherwise specifically designated, so that's the loose offerings, on one Sunday in each calendar month to be deposited with the rector for such pious and charitable uses as the rector shall determine. So
I've never heard that, so that's really interesting to me to learn something new today on
yeah,
that.
yeah. So anyway, as Gretchen said, the need is great. The funds are dwindling. I don't want to linger on a fear of scarcity, but please be generous.
Yeah, if you feel called to give to the RDF in addition to your normal pledge, we welcome that. And there have been some people over the years that when Father Bob was here, he knew if there was a big need to help, he knew that there were some parishioners that he could call and say, I need some money for my RDF because I've got some big needs coming up. So right now we're in a situation where that's obviously not happening, which is just how it is. It's neither good nor bad. It's just where we are right now. But if you feel called, we welcome it. And if you can't, that's okay too. It's not, this isn't a plea. This is an educational moment so that you know what happens behind the scenes that you may be unaware of.
Right, but just tuck a little extra cash in
Yeah.
your wallet on the first Sunday of
Right.
every month, and when the offering comes around, participate.
Right.
It is different than your pledge. This
Yeah.
is above and
Yeah, this
beyond
is something
that.
different.
But be intentional and
Yeah.
generous.
And if you have extra money for whatever, you received extra money for something, if you want to give specifically to the RDF, you can always write a check and just put RDF on the line and it's taken care of.
Yeah.
So thank you for explaining that to us and the canons, because
Yeah.
news to me, but thank you.
Thank you.
And we're happy to be able to help people when we can.
Yes.